how to represent the given decimal number. From that, we'll see the conversions. That is, we know that four number systems: decimal, binary, octal, and hexadecimal. So we will see all these four conversions. That is from decimal to the other three number systems. Similarly, from binary to the other three number systems. Then octal to the other three number systems: octal to decimal, octal to binary, and octal to hexadecimal. Finally, we see hexadecimal to the other systems: hexadecimal to decimal, hexadecimal to octal, hexadecimal to binary. So this is first topic we are going to see. Then we will see Hamming error coding techniques. So that is for the given binary system, how we will convert the given binary to its corresponding Hamming code, that we'll see. Followed by we'll have other twos complement, tens complement. Using twos and tens and complement, we'll see how to perform a subtraction of a given number. Okay, so these are the topics we are going to see. Now we'll start with this number system introduction. So generally, if you take any number, this number will be represented by a decimal number, will be represented by like this. So this dot represents the decimal point. So the left side of this is going to be your integer, and the right side of this is going to be your decimal. Okay, just take an example. Say 7,329. So how will represent this 7,329? So 9 is going to be ones, 2 is going to be tens, 3 is going to be hundreds, and 7 is going to be thousands. So this is multiplied by its corresponding 10 power. That is, 9 is multiplied by 10 power 0, 2 is multiplied by 10 power 1, 3 is multiplied by 10 power 2, and 7 is multiplied by 10 power 3. Okay, so this is how we'll represent it. Okay, this is a general number system, but according to the base. Okay, according to the base. Okay, so how will represent this? So this is general. So in place of this 10 power 3, 10 power 2, 10 power 1, 10 power 3, we call it as A1, A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 for integers, and A power minus 1, A power minus 2, A power minus 3 are going for decimal points. I think Dilip is raising his hand, so I request Dilip to chat, or I'll give a number, my WhatsApp number. You can ask a query to my WhatsApp number. Okay, let me start the session. Let me continue the session. At the end of the session, I'll give my mobile number so that you can ask your doubts or text your doubts so that I'll clarify it through WhatsApp or message. Okay, so we'll start the session. Right. So this is what that general representation. So binary, we know that it is having the base of 2, octal means base 10, decimal means base 10, hexadecimal means base 16. So base 2 means we have two number system, which is 0 and 1. If the base is 8, called as octal number, so we have 8 number representation right from 0 to 7. That is 0, 1, 2, 3 goes to 7. For decimal, it is 10 number. So we start from 0 to 9. For hexadecimal, it is 16 number system. So we start with 0 to 9. After 9, we should not call it as 10, 11, 12. We have to call it as A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, so this is what the representation. So I think this is the basic thing. Everyone know that. We'll see how to see the conversion from one form to the other form. So we'll start with the decimal to binary. So decimal to binary, in class you could have seen only either integer part or decimal. We'll see both here. That is, we will see the integer and decimal for all the conversions. Okay, that is from decimal to all three, binary to other three, and like that. Okay, so I will start with the decimal to binary. The logic is very simple here. For decimal to binary, take your integer parts, keeps on divided by 2. That is the logic. So, okay, keeps on divided by 2 until you get the quotient is going to be 0. That is the procedure. Okay, if you take this 41, 41 divided by 2 will be quotient is 20, and the remainder is going to be 1 here. Then take this 20 divided by 2, so we get 10 here, remainder is 0. Then take 10 divided by 2, we get 5 as quotient, 0 is the remainder. Then 5 by 2 is 2 is quotient, 1 is remainder. Then divide 2 by 2, 1 is quotient, 0 is remainder. Then if you divide 1 by 2 again, we get quotient is 0 and remainder is 1. Okay, so this is the procedure. So take an integer number, keeps on divided by 2. Okay, then look at the remainder alone. Okay, look at the remainder alone, and the remainder should be taken from this order. Okay, people will do mistake over here. You always start from your bottom to top. Okay, so bottom to top, that is from 1 0 1 0 0 1. So the binary representation of 41 is going to be 1 0 1 0 0 1. This is for integer part, and for decimal part, logic is reverse. That is, instead of dividing by 2, what we need to do is we have to multiply it by 2. Okay, so take the decimal part 0.6875, just multiply by 2. We multiply by 2, what we get is we get 1.375. So break this into two portions, that is integer separately, fraction separately. Okay, so multiply this, we get 1.375. So 1 is integer, 0.375 is the fraction. Now take this fraction again, multiply by 2, we'll get 0.75 with the integer is 0. Then multiply again 0.75 by 2, we get 1.5. Keep your 1 in the integer portion, 0.5 in the fraction. So again 0.5 by 2, we get 1 here. So we can do it according to that decimal portions. So fortunately for this problem, we are getting 0 here. So after this, we cannot proceed. So we can stop up to this point. So for represent this number system, binary number system, here we have to go with the top to bottom. Remember that for integer parts, we have to start from bottom to top. For decimal, we have to return as from top to bottom. Okay, so it is 1011. So the binary representation of 0.6875 will be 0.1011. So this is the conversion. Logic is integer is divided by 2, decimal is multiplied by 2. That's all. Okay. Then we go with the decimal to octal. Decimal to octal is similar to your decimal to binary. So instead of dividing by 2 and multiplying by 2, we have to do with divide by 8 and multiply by 8. Clear? The logic is clear. So in the case of binary, decimal to binary, we divide it by 2 and multiply by 2 for integer and decimal portion. For decimal to octal, we just divide by 8 and multiply by 8. Okay, so that we can obtain that octal representation. Okay, I'm just going a bit faster because we have seen decimal to binary. Decimal to octal is 153 divided by 8 is quotient is 19, remainder is 1. Then 19 by 8 is quotient is 2, remainder is 3. Then 2 divided by 8, we get the quotient is 0 and the remainder is 2. Now the representation should be again, it is top to bottom, bottom to top, so it is 231. So the octal representation of 153 will be 231. And for this decimal portion, which is 0.513, we just keep on multiply by 8 and separate your integer separately and fraction separately. Again, for this one, the integer portion should be taken as from top to bottom upwards. So that is 4065 we get. So the octal representation of your decimal number 0.513 will be 0.4065. Okay, the same way for your decimal to hexa. For decimal to hexa, it is divide by 16 and multiply by 16. Okay, for decimal numbers, divided by keep sound by 16. For decimal portions, we have to multiply it by 16. Take the integer parts alone. Now here we have to take a reminder. Here we have to take a integer. So take an example, 2545. So 2545 divided by 16, we get quotient is 159 and the remainder is going to be 1. Now take this 159 divided by 16, we get quotient 9 and remainder is 15. So 15 you cannot represent as a 15. So you have to convert it into corresponding hexadecimal. So for 15, the corresponding hexadecimal will be of F. Okay. Then take this 9 by 16, we get quotient is 0 and remainder is 9. Now this is your hexadecimal number, that is 9F1, not 915 1. So people will do mistake over here. So they won't represent as F, they will represent as 15. So we'll get a mistake over here. So convert your 15 to F. So it should be 9F and 1. Then for decimal 0.342, just multiply by 15, represent integer here, fraction here. Again, take this fraction, multiply by 16, we get integer fraction, it goes like that. And you can observe here that 13 here. So 13 is, again, you should not call it as 13. 13 hexadecimal is going to be D. Just recall that 10 is represented as A, 11 is B, 12 is C, and 13 is going to be D here. So here again, top to bottom. So it should be 5, 7, 8, and D, not 13. Okay, remember that. So the hexadecimal for 0.342 will be 5, 7, 8, and D. Okay, so one part is over. That is from decimal to binary, decimal to octal, decimal to hexadecimal is over. Now we'll go to the second part, that is from binary. So binary to the other three conversions. That is from binary to decimal, binary to octal, and binary to hexadecimal. So let us take an example of binary of this number 101001. Okay, so how to convert this into decimal, right? So here take the number and put it from this order. That is your rightmost bit should comes as a top and leftmost bit should comes as a bottom. Okay, again you'll do mistake over here. People will represent a reverse order, so you should not call by reverse order. You have to always start from this. So 1 0. So 1000101 should be written in this order. Okay, remember this, right? Now take this number and corresponding multiplies by its corresponding 2 powers. That is, the first value should be multiplied by 2 power 0, second is multiplied by 2 power 1, third is multiplied by 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5. Okay, that's what I've written here. Okay, so 2 power 0, this is 1, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2 is 4. So it goes like that. 2 power 3 is 8, 2 power 4 is 16, 2 power 5 is going to be 30. Now just multiply it. Okay, multiply a binary by its corresponding 2 power n. So wherever the 0 is done, we need not multiply. So if it is because 0 anything multiplied by 0 is going to be 0. So for this 2 value, we need not multiply. We get 0 here. Similarly for this value, it is 0, right? So 1 into 1 is we get 1 here. Then 1 into 8 is we get 8. Then 1 into 32 is going to be 30. Just sum it up everything, we get 40. Okay, logic is this. This is the logic. So to convert your binary numbers to decimal, take the binary number, multiply its corresponding 2 power n's. Just sum it up that product term, will get your decimal number. Right now for integer, I mean this we have seen the integer part. Now for decimal portion, logic is reverse. That is, you have to go by from left to right. Okay. Now here what we have seen is we have seen from right to left, we multiply by 2 powers. So 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, it goes like that. Whereas here, right from decimal, you have to go from left to right, right? And multiply in the form of 2 power minus n. Okay, 2 power minus n. That is, this is multiplied by 2 power minus 1, this is multiplied by 2 power minus 2, this is multiplied by 2 power minus 3, this is multiplied by 2 power minus 4. Now this will be represented in the form of 2 power minus 1 is 1 by 2. 2 power minus 2 is 1 by 4, this is 1 by 8, and this is 1 by 16. So use your calculator, we get its corresponding decimal values, right? Now multiply by its corresponding binary, put it over here, just sum it up, we'll get its corresponding decimal numbers. Okay, is this clear? So 2 power minus 1, 2 power minus 2, 2 power minus 3, 2 power minus 4. That decimal representation is given by like this, because 2 power minus 1 is 1 by 2, which is 0.5. 2 power minus 2 is 1 by 4, this is 1 by 8, this is 1 by 16, we get like this, right? So multiply by its corresponding binary, we get these values, just sum it up, we get 0.6875. Okay, this is for binary to decimal. Then binary to octal, binary to octal is very simple. So for this number, logic is like this. So take the binary number, group it in the form of 3 threes. Okay, so group it as 3 numbers. And one thing you have to keep in mind is, for integer portion, you have to group should start from your right to left. Okay, keep this in mind. From right to left, you have to group it. So this 1, 0, 0 is your one group, and the remaining 3 is 1, 0, 1 is going to be your second. Okay. Now for this grouping, apply 4 to 1 code. Yeah, so apply 4 to 1 code. That is for this binary numbers, put it as 4 to 1, 4 to 1. Now wherever the 1 is there, just sum it up those values. So here it is 1. So 1 plus 4. So the decimal equivalent of this 101 is going to be 5. Similarly for this, okay, the decimal is going to be, we have only 1 here. So just add this 1. So we get 1. So the octal representation of this binary number 101001 will be 51. Clear? Then for decimal portion, this is we have seen for integer part. For decimal portion, again the grouping is same, group it as 3 numbers, but the order is reversed. Now here the order is from, we have started from the right side to the left side, whereas here for decimal portion we have to start from left to the right. Okay, left to the right. So we start from here. So 101. So this 101 is going to be your first group, and the second group we have only one number, which is your 1. So we left out with the 2 more positions. So the left to 2 more positions we call it as a 0, 0. Okay, so wherever any blank or grouping is difficult, so we can add the zeros here. Okay, that is the logic, right? So for decimal portion, we have start from the decimal portion. So 101 is going to be first group. For second group, we left with only 1. So add 2 more zeros here, or append 2 more zeros here, so that we get it as 100. Now convert this into corresponding octal number using your 4 to 1. Okay, so wherever 1 is there, sum it up. So here 1 is there, so 1. Here also 1 is there, so just add. So 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. For this one, it's going to be only 1 here, so it is 4. Yeah, so this is one thing. Now we'll see that the next one, which is binary to hexadecimal. Okay, so for binary to hexadecimal, it is similar to your binary to octal. Okay, binary to octal, but the logic is going to be we have to group in the form of four numbers. Okay, we have to group in the form of four numbers, and we need to apply that code 8421. Okay, so group in the form of four numbers and apply 8421 code. So take that example, this 101001. So for integer portions, we have to group it as from right to left. So that left from rightmost side, rightmost side 1001 is one group. For second group, excuse me. For second group, we have left with only two numbers. That is your 10. So we can append two more zeros at the left hand side, so that we get 0010 is your second. Clear? So first group is going to be 1001. Second group is going to be 0010. Now for those number as an 8421 code. So wherever one is there, just take that value and add it up. So if you take example of 1001, so we have 1 at the position 1 and 8. So add 1 and 8 so that we get 9. And for second group, we have the position called 2 and 1. Only for 2 alone we have ones. Okay, so that corresponds to your 2. So the hexadecimal representation of the binary number 101001 is 29. Okay, then again one more student is asking doubts. I'll telling that at the end of session I'll give my mobile number. Okay, so you text me or WhatsApp me and you can ask your doubts. Okay, so we'll continue the session. Now take that decimal portion. So the leftmost rightmost side of your right half of your PPT. So the example is going to be 101101. We need to convert this into hexadecimal. Okay, now here the grouping should be done from your, the order is going to be from left to right, we have to take it. Okay, so if you take a left group, it has some four numbers. So 1011 is going to be the group 1, and if you see that the next half we have 011, which is going to be only two numbers are there. We have to make in the form of group of fours. Okay, group of fours. So we can add two more zeros or append two more zeros at the right side, so that we get it as 0100, which was given in the red color shading. Okay, you can see that, right? So that decimal numbers 0.10110 is grouped into two groups. The group 1 is going to be 1011, and the second group is going to be 0100. Okay, now for this you apply 8421 code. So for 1011, wherever 1 is there, just add your the corresponding decimal portions. So for 1011, the 1 is present in the location of 8, 2 and 1. Okay, so add those numbers. So 8 plus 2 plus 1. So 8 plus 2 plus 1 is 11. But 11 we should not written like this. So 11 we have to convert into corresponding hexadecimal. Recall that. So 10 will be represented as A. 11 is going to be represented as your B. Okay, so 11 will be called it as B here, which was given in the form of a bracket. Okay, then the second group for 0100. So 1 is present only for the position 4. Yeah, so 1 is present only for the position of 4. So take that value only 1, which is your 4. So we see that the hexadecimal representation of the given binary number 0.101101 will be .B4. Okay, so we have seen the first, binary to the three form systems. So binary to decimal, binary to octal, and binary to hexadecimal. Okay, so for binary to hexadecimal, we group it in the form of 4 and we apply 8421 code. For binary to octal, we form a group of 3s and we need to apply code of 421. For binary to decimal, we have to multiply the binary numbers by its corresponding 2 powers. That is, for decimal portions, we have to multiply it by 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, goes like that. For integer portions, we have to multiply it by 2 power minus 1, 2 power minus 2, 2 power minus 3. It goes like that. Okay. So next we'll see octal to the other three forms. So octal to your decimal, octal to binary, and octal to your hexadecimal. Okay, so to do so, we have a next slides. So for you can see that next slides after 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so for octal to decimal. Okay, so octal to decimal is you'll be given with some octal number, say 431 or something like that. So if you want to convert that into decimal, recall your decimal to octal. So decimal to octal, what we have done, we take the integer portion, we have multiplied, divided by 8, and for integer, we have to keep on multiplied by 8. Okay, now here the logic is going to be just reverse. So to convert your Kalyan, your raise the hands. See, I'm just repeating everyone. So all the participants, okay. So at the end of session, I'll give my number, a mobile number. You can text me your doubts. Okay, I'll clarify. Okay, this clear, right? Okay. So for octal to decimal, right? So just recall your decimal to octal. So decimal to octal, what we have done is we take the integer portion, we just keep on dividing by 8. For decimal, we just multiplied by 8. Okay, and for octal to your decimal, okay, octal to decimal, this is an example 231. So for 231, the logic is very simple. Just take this integer portion, multiply by 8 powers. Okay, that is, this is 8 power 0, 8 power 1, 8 power 2. Okay, 8 power 0 is 1, this is 8 and 64. Just multiply by this number. 1 into 1 is 1, 3 into 8 is 24, 2 into 64 is 128. Just sum it up, we'll get this decimal number. For this integer portion 4065, this is 8 power minus 1. That is, this is multiplied by 8 power minus 1, 8 power minus 2, 8 power minus 3, 8 power minus 2. Now convert this into corresponding decimal. 8 power minus 1 is 1 by 8, which is 0.125. 8 power minus 2 is going to be 0.0156. So it goes like that. Okay, so multiply 4 by 0.125, we get 0.5. 6 by 0.0019, we get 0.0114. It goes like that. Just sum it up all the value, we get 0.5124. Okay, so that octal for 231 will be 153, and the decimal representation of your 0.4065 will be 0.512. Okay, so next we go octal to binary. Octal to binary is very simple. Take that octal number, apply your 4 to 1. That is, for 5, how will represent the 5 using 4 to 1? What are the numbers we can add so that we get 5? Okay, we can see that 4 plus 1. So 4 plus 1, if we add, we get 5. So to represent 5 in a binary, put 1 here, 0 for 2 portion and 1 for this. So 101 is going to be your binary representation of your 5. Then for 1, where we get 1? 1 is at the last question. So to represent binary for octal number 1, it is 001. So we call 00. Just append both this, we get your binary number. So the binary representation of octal number 5151 will be 101001. Okay. Then for 0.54, right? So 0.54 will be the same logic. So 5 is represented by 101, 4 is represented by 100. Just append both things. So we get 1011. Clear? So this is your octal to binary. Octal to decimal we have seen, octal to binary we have seen. Now finally we go with the octal to hexa. Octal to hexa we cannot go directly. First we have to convert your octal to binary first, what we have seen here. Okay, apply this logic. First convert your given number to its binary, corresponding binary. Okay, then apply this binary to 8421 code to get your hexadecimal. That is grouped in the form of 4s. So 1001 is your first group. Then 10 is only 2 number is there. So to make it as 4 numbers, so happen 00 here. Now apply 8421 code, convert this corresponding hexadecimal. For this we get 2, and for this 8 plus 1 is going to be 9. Okay, the same way for your integer portion. So integer portion is 0.54. First convert into corresponding binary, then apply 8421 code to get your hexadecimal. Okay, so octal to the other 3 we have seen. Then we go with the hexadecimal. Hexadecimal to binary, hexadecimal to decimal, and hexadecimal to your octal. Right. So hexa to binary is apply 8421 code. So take this number, apply 8421 code, represent the form of binaries. So how will get 9? By adding 8 and 1. Okay, so the binary for 9 will be 1001, and the binary representation of f is going to be 15. So 15 means just add all the numbers so that we get 15. So the binary for f will be all ones. Then for 1 is going to be 0001. Just combine everything, we get your binary representation. The same way for your decimal. The only difference is we get a decimal here. Apart from this, this both are going to be the same. Okay. Then hexadecimal to decimal. Hexadecimal to decimal, we cannot go directly. What we have to do is first we convert your hexadecimal to binary, like what we have seen here. Okay, refer this example. So first convert your hexa to binary first, right? Then to convert this binary to decimal, go to the conversion. Binary to decimal conversion we have seen. So apply this logic so that if we convert this, we get it as 2545. You can try this. Okay, you can take an example 941. So first apply this logic so that we get a binary. Then to convert your binary to decimal, we apply this conversion technique, binary to decimal, so that we get this. The same way for your decimal parts. So decimal parts, first convert your hexa to binary, then apply your binary to decimal conversion so that we get it as 0.35. Okay. Finally, we start with the end of the hexa to octal. So hexa to octal is take that hexadecimal number, convert, apply 8421 code, convert into binary first. Okay. Then this binary, apply 421 code, convert into corresponding octal. This conversion we already seen. Okay, that is take your hexa, apply 8421 code, convert into binary first. Then take this binary, apply 421 code by grouping of threes. Then we get your octal representation. The same way for your decimal portions. Okay, so if you are very clear with this conversion, whatever might be the number, whatever might be the conversion, you can easily solve. Okay, so this summarizes your all number conversion systems. Okay, we go to the second topic, which is your subtraction of binary data. Okay, if the two data was given, how will subtract it using 2's complement? Okay, so you 2's complement, this is the logic. Remember the logic. So we may have the smaller number by bigger number or bigger number by the smaller number. Anything we can do, right? So we take an example, say x is going to be this one and y is going to be this. We'll see both the cases. X minus 1, what we have to do, y minus x, what we have to do. Okay, so we'll start with the x minus 1. So x minus 1, you can see that this is a bigger number subtracting by a smaller number. Okay, so if you want to do, right, if you want to do, take the second number, okay, which is subtrahend, apply the 2's complement of this. So 2's complement of this, how we'll get this? First we have to take 1's complement, then with that we need to add 1. So if you take 1's complement of this, so you can see that 1 0 0 0 0 1 1, the 1's complement is replace your 1 by 0 and 0 by 1. So this can be represented as 0 followed by 4 1's double 0. Okay, with that just add 1 so that we get a 2's complement here, right? So the 2's complement of 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 will be this one, which is 0 1 1 1 1 0 1. Now with this, perform your binary addition. So binary addition we know. So 0 plus 1 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 0 here, carry 1 here. Again 1 plus 0 plus 1 is 1 0 we get. So 0 here, 1 here. Adding of 3 1 is 1 1. So we get 1 here, 1 here. Then 1 plus 1 is 0 here, carry 1 here. 1 plus 1 is 0 here, carry 1 here. Okay. So by adding this two, we found that there is a the n carry is there. So okay. So if you get an n carry, the logic is very simple. Discard this. Okay. Discard this. Whatever comes here, that will be your summation. I mean, the sum is your, that is your difference of your x minus 1. Clear? Logic is clear? So if you want to subtract a bigger number by a smaller number, logic is take the second number, apply the, find the 2's complement of the second number, then add with your first number, see whether you are getting a carry or not. If you are getting a carry, discard the carry, what is left out, that is your difference. Okay. Now we take the same example, we go the reverse order, that is subtracting your lower number by a bigger number. Okay, smaller number by a bigger number, right? Now for this, this will be act as your second data. So find out the 2's complement of your x. So x is what, this one, 1 0 1 0 1 0 0. So first apply 1's complement of this, with this add 1. So how will find the 1's complement? take 1 as 0, 0 as 1. So this 1 becomes 0 here. So for 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 will be written as 0 1 0 1 0 1 1. With this add 1 so that we get a 2's complement of this. Now with this 2's complement, you have to add with your second data, which is 1 0 0 0 0 1 1. Now add this 2, we get a sum is like this. Okay. Now here we are subtracting your smaller number a bigger number. We are not getting any carry. Okay. If there is no carry, the procedure is like this. So whatever we get here, take the 2's complement of that and apply minus sign here. Okay, remember that whatever we are getting here, take 2's complement of this. So 2's complement means first take 1's complement of this. The 1's complement of this will be 0 0 1 0 0 0 0. With that add 1 so that we get it as 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Right? So this is the logic. Right? So next becomes 1's complement. 1's complement is same as your 2's complement. The only difference is the n carry. Depending upon the n carry, we get it. Okay. So we take the example. So here we take a 2's complement here, whereas here we take a 1's complement here. So take the 1's complement, add up. If carry is present, add that carry. Comparatively, for 2's complement, what we do is we take the 2's complement of the number, add it. If n carries it, we discard it and we take the sum. Whereas using for 1's complement, we first take the second number, apply the 1's complement, add up. While adding this, if you get a carry here, that carry should be added over here so that we get a total sum. Okay. Then the reverse logic, that is from subtracting your smaller number by a bigger number. If that is the case, so here what we do, we take the 2's complement. If carry is not there, the result should be 2's complement. Whereas here we take 1's complement, we add up. Whatever we are getting here, take 1's complement and put minus 1. That's all. Okay, so that is the logic, right? Okay, then BCD addition. BCD addition is for the given number, convert its corresponding BCD number. So BCD is a binary coded decimal. So here we should have only a 0 to 9. We should not have a more than 9 here. So this 184, you treat this as differently, separately. 1 separately, 8 separately, 4 separately. Represent this 1 in a binary number, 8 in this binary number, 4 is binary like this. Similarly for 576, this is the corresponding binary. For 5 it is 0101, 7 is 0111, 6 is 0110. Now add this 2. So add this 2, add this 2, add this 2 and see this sum. Okay, so while adding this, what I get is I suppose to get 1111. Okay, so if you add this, you have to start always from the right side. So by adding this, what we get is 1010. Clear? Right? So if you add this, what we get is we get as a 111, 1111, we don't have BCD. With that, we have to add this 6 0110 so that we convert that all ones into this corresponding BCD like this. Clear? So logic is very simple. Whenever we add a binary number, okay, if you get a number which is more than 9 means 1010. Apart from 10, that is we can get a sum from 0002 1001. So if you get a number like 1010 or 1011, that is from 10 to 16. Anywhere between 10 to 16, we have to add plus 6 so that corresponding BCD code will get it here. Right? So this is what BCD addition. Okay, I'm repeating here. For BCD addition, treat the decimal number separately. 1 separately, 8 separately, 4 separately. Similarly, 5, 6, 7. Treat 5 separately, 7 separately, 6 separately. Perform binary addition. For those two cases, no problem. We are getting in a proper form. Okay. Sorry. For this is proper form. Here it is. These two are not in a proper form. Here we get 1010. This by mistake is written. This all ones. Okay. This all ones. So these two are not in proper BCD form. To convert this into proper BCD form, add 6 here. So 0110, 0110, so that we get the corresponding BCD. Okay. This is your BCD addition. So this is very important topic. You can expect this problem in your university. Hamming error code generation and Hamming error code detection. Clear? So Hamming error code generation is you will be given with a binary number, right? So that binary number we have to convert into corresponding Hamming. Okay. This logic I think you could know this, right? So if 4 binary information is there, right, for this we should have a 3 parity code, and totally together 4 plus 3 we get 7 Hamming code, right? So this is the logic. So the information bit should be kept in other than 2 power k. So the parity bit will occupy this portion 2 power 0. So 2 power k means 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, it goes like that. So 2 power 0 is position 1, 2 power 1 is position 2, 2 power 2 is position 4. So the logic here is going to be, we have to find the position, we have to find the value for this one, and this one. Okay, I think this we can explain clearly, right? So this is the binary number, 1001 is binary number. We have to find out what is the value of this fourth position, second position, and first position. Okay, so to find this position, the binary representation of this 4 is going to be 100. That is, third bit is going to be 1. Okay, third bit is going to be 1. So to calculate this, we have to take the binary values of position 5, 6, and 7. Okay, position 5, 6, and 7. Right. Similarly, for parity bit 2, okay, parity bit 2 is represented 0, 1, 0. So for 0, 1, 0, we have to look at the position 3, 6, 7. Then for this position, it is 0, 0, 1. We have to see the position of 3, 5, and 7. Clear? The logic is clear. So to find this parity, we have to see the position of 5, 6, 7. To find the second parity, we have to see the position 3, 6, 7. To find this parity, we have to look at the position 3, 5, and 7. You can see that I have shaded in a gray color. For finding this value, this 3 code you have to consider. For finding this value, this, and this we have to consider. For finding this value, this position, and this position we have to consider. Okay. So we see this example. This is the data we have given. Sorry. So this is the data we have given, 1001. Now here the question is, we need to apply even parity. So even parity means the number of ones should be even. Okay, that is the logic, right? So except this 3 portion, fill up your data. Okay, the data is going to be 1001. So you always start from your rightmost side. So this one should be put in a position 3, and this 0 goes to the position 5, and this 0 goes to the position 6, and this one goes to position your 7. Okay. Now see this value, how to find this value. For finding this value, we have to consider this 3 portion, 5, 6, and 7, and see how many ones are here. Okay, there will be one odd number of ones are there. Okay, to make it as even number, we have to happen one more 0 here, so that by considering along with this parity, we get an even number of ones. Okay, that is the logic, right? So the value of this will be 1. Is clear? Similarly, for finding this value, you can see that for finding this value, we have to consider the position of this, and this. See, 1 is here, 0 is here, 1 is here. So all this 3 together, we have even number of ones, because 1, 1 is here, 1, 1 is here. We get even number of ones. So we put as 0 here. Similarly, for this one, consider the position 3, 5, and 7. So the values are 1, 0, and 1. So we have even number of ones, so put 0 here. So the parity bit at the position 4 will be 1, parity bit at position 2 will be 0, parity bit at position 1 will be 0. So append all this 1, 0, 0, so that we get that coded. So the Hamming code for 1001 is going to be this one, that is 1001111. Okay, is this clear? The same way we have to do for your Hamming error code detection. Okay, Hamming error code detection. Assume that actually this is the correct Hamming code. Okay, now let us replace this 0 by 1 here. So this is the wrongly sent data. Now let us see how to find the error at this database. Okay, now take this value, put in a proper order, right? Put in a proper order, and we have to again check the parity bit at position 4, 2, and 1. Clear? Check the parity position 4, 2, and 1 here. Clear? So for finding this value, we have to look at the position 5, 6, 7. Again, you can see that the gray coding. Okay, so out of the 7, only this 4 are shading. For finding the parity, for checking whether this data is correct or wrong, we have to consider position 5, 6, 7, sir. So how many ones are there? 3 ones are there. So you write it as number of 1 is going to be 3, right? Then take the position 2. So to calculate your parity bit 2, we have to consider the position 7, 6 and 3. Now calculate the number of ones. So the number of ones will be, we have ones at 7, 6 and 3. There will be 3 ones. So you write it as 3 there. Okay. And finally your parity bit, the last parity bit at the position 1, we have to consider the position 5, 7 and 3. We observe that along with the parity we have a even number of parity as 4, right? Now out of this 3 parities, that is parity bit 4, 2 and 1, you can observe that since we are applying the even parity here, okay, parity bit 1 is correct, that is we are getting even number of ones, 4, whereas for parity bit 4 and parity bit 2 we are getting wrongly. Okay, instead of getting a even number we are getting a, by mistake it is an odd number, 3, 3. Okay, so which means that position 4 and 2 are wrong parity and position 1 is going to be the right parity. Okay, for wrong parity you put it as 1, right? So we get 1, 1 to the left side, and for right parity you put 0, so we get it as 1, 1, 0. Okay, so that 110, which means that converts corresponding decimal, so 110 is going to be your 6. Okay, so it says that the error is at the 6th position. So where is my 6th position? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this is the 6th position. So there is an error in the 6th position, right? So convert this into the complement of that. So replace this 1 by 0. So what we get is 1010101, which is the correct data. Clear? So this is the procedure, right? Okay, this is the procedure. Fine. So this is my end of the session. Okay, so you can note my number. Those who are raise their hands, and if you have any doubts, you can text me. Okay, my mobile and WhatsApp numbers is 9840990206. Okay, my number is, I repeat, 9840990206. Those who are raised hand, those who are having any doubts, you can text me. I'll clarify through mobile. Okay, I repeat the mobile number 9840990206. Okay, if you want my email ID also, you can note it down. My email ID is Murthy, MOORTHY26.82 I'm repeating, Murthy, MOORTHY. If you want, I'll type it here. You can note it down, or you take a screenshot of this.